Hello again, chemistry teachers. How are you guys doing? I really like how these videos are very periodic, but let's table that discussion for later. Just kidding. All right. Today we're going to be looking at the resource Discovery Ed. Now this video is going to be different for Chem and Bio because, as many of you guys know who have been in the district, our main resource, which is Discovery Ed, isn't the best resource available, and they don't upkeep it. And so it's kind of hard and difficult to use effectively in your class, as I would like, and hopefully as you guys probably think as well. Just so that everybody's kind of in the know, I want to start a process this year, an RFP process that allows us to pick a new resource for mainly Chem and Bio. It might just be all of high school, that allows for better uses of our curriculum. And so just keep that in the back of your mind. But what I've done for you guys, especially with this curriculum map and this pacing guide, is I've really pulled out the best that we can from Discovery Ed. So I just want to walk through, for those who are new to it, the basics of Discovery Education. There's great stuff there. It's just they did not focus as much on the high school as they did for the middle school. So I love it for our middle school, but it's just not the right setup for our high school students. And if you love Discovery Ed, sorry if I'm raining on your parade, but hopefully we get something that's better suited for our students. When you log into Discovery Ed, as you saw, I have a link there on the curriculum map. I also bookmark everything, so I've got my link right there. So when you get on here, it'll take you to your landing page. There's a few things on here that might be of use for you. First of all, what we're going to dive in today is the science tech book. That's where all the content is at, but we'll go there in a second. If you ever do assign things on Discovery Ed, like you can assign practice tests or different labs or activities, you could have a classroom that's automatically connected to our SIS system, so it's all rostered. And so if you need to view or grade certain questions, you can do that. I don't know how much of that you guys will be doing, but that is available to you. So I won't open it and go through it, but it's a pretty straightforward process. It'd be similar to looking at your Google Classrooms, how you guys used to do those. You guys either have quiz or assessment builder. I believe it's assessment builder. And this is actually a pretty good tool. Not necessarily, you could use it to create an assessment and assign to students and they can do it. But this is also a great way just to pull questions that are either based off a concept or a standard. And it gives you a ton of questions, different question styles. And so you can kind of pull some ideas from that in order to get yourself some questions to use for students that might otherwise be difficult to create on your own. So it might be a great tool to either use just for your planning, or if you want to create assessments, you can assign these to students and then it's auto graded and boom, you got your grades there in my classroom. And then your Explore, if you want to look through just all the materials that Discovery Ed has, you can just click on Explore or go up in the search. That would do the exact same thing as the Explore. Type what you want and you can find all sorts of things. You've also got a few other links probably, but those are the ones that you mainly want to use. Let's jump into the science tech book so we can just kind of see what exactly we've got on here. So I'm going to jump out. This was me loaded already into an activity for, as you can see, 8th grade. If you've been on Discovery Ed before and you've hopped in, you might find that you're in some grade or some level. So what I'm going to do is click back, and this will allow me to pick any grade level that I'm at. So we've got our chemistry, Missouri 2016 new. The fact that it says 2016 and new tells you it hasn't been updated. So that's why I'm starting a new process. So this would be your chemistry landing page. And as you can see, it's broken down by units. They do, let's see here, 8 units, 9, 10. So yeah, there's 10 units. That's quite a bit. We've cut out certain concepts that we didn't feel were that necessary. And so you'll find that the way that we go through is sometimes we'll do exactly the unit they have. Sometimes we're kind of picking and choosing from everywhere. So for those who've taught chemistry here before, I didn't change the concepts that much from what was already lined out for the year. But what I've done in a new pacing guide, which you didn't have a pacing guide before, is I've just flushed out all the material that's there. And in the next video, I'll show you how that's all readily available to you. So just so we can kind of walk through and kind of view what they have to offer. We'll start with just unit 1 and just kind of look at that as an overview. So we'll view the unit when you do that. So that was like your broad full year, and we're going to focus down on a unit. You've got your unit overview, which is basically here are those 4 concepts that you saw on the previous page. It will link you to, hey, what standards align with this? And then you can click into it. So now we're at the unit level. Let's jump down to the concept level and see what they have there. You can either click here, click there. And so let me just show you, this would be similar to how a student would view it. If you want to see exactly what a student sees, you just toggle this over here. But as you can see, there's a lot of text, and then question. And then lots of questions. I want to go to next. Now I go into the Explore, and you see I got these different tabs and more resources. Each of those tabs, that blue is teachers, but see it's more text, maybe images, maybe videos, more text. So it's not necessarily activities, although they're linked there. So this section here might be your activities. But it's just, how is a student going to use this effectively? If you have a guided sheet that goes with it and they can go through, that's fine. But it's not necessarily the most effective way to run an engaging classroom. So what I've done is I've pulled information off of here that you can use in your classroom along with your other resources. So where I got most of my stuff, if you go over to model lesson, and this is just showing you where it all came from, it's all going to be readily available in the scope and pacing guide, for you to use, or in the landing page that was in the last video. So you got, this is just available to teachers. And so I pulled from the lesson overview, here where the objectives came from. In the teacher preparation, this is where the content background, common misconceptions, the connecting to students' lives, and the differentiated strategies, prior knowledge, that's where all that came from. So you see, instead of having you guys go and navigate and find all this stuff, I've pulled it out, and now it's part of the curriculum map to be more easily accessible. You got hands-on material, and here's where all the actual stuff is. So in the engage, explore, explain, elaborate, here's where it's linked, all the videos that were linked, and they do a lot of videos, all the labs and images. So here's what I did for you guys. In the actual pacing guide, which will be in the next video, I have all the videos linked in one document. So instead of having to go find things, you can go find, oh, atoms and elements. I want a video on that. Boom, click. There you go. And it'll be on your actual pacing guide. And then you'll see, so you got videos, exploration, classification matter. This is actually a virtual lab that helps students visualize things. So I've pulled that out, and we'll see that tomorrow. And when you get down to the bottom, there's typically some activities, a hands-on lab. So all this was very difficult to find for you or the students, and it's not the best platform. So in my next video, I'll show you how that's all pulled out and synthesized in a way that you don't have to use everything, but I've pulled out the best that we have from Discovery Education for you to use that more effectively. And I'll show that in the next video. So you won't have to be on Discovery Ed a ton or know how to navigate it necessarily. I've really tried to pull the best that we can out of it. And then again, like I said at the beginning, start a process till we get something better, and you guys will be valuable at providing input for that. Okay. I don't want to spend too much time on Discovery Ed, just because it's frustrating for people. So let us end the video there. And in the next video, I'm going to go through your pacing guide, which again is just like a recommended, here are some things that you can do. And there's a way for you guys to give me ideas that we can then share out with the district, things that chemistry teachers can utilize to have more effective lessons for this year and years to come. So thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next video.